Greetings, Ashen, the comic book hunter here for another new comic book hunt. This week I will be reviewing comics from this past Wednesday. So without further ado, let's get started. The first issue I have for you is X-Force number 10. And boy oh boy, what an issue this was. If you haven't been collecting the X-Force series, then please do yourself a favor and get all 10 issues. Last we left our heroes, they were investigating a temple. They were looking for a target, but unfortunately he was overwhelmed by plants and had flowers growing out of his body. It was a pretty demented scene, but little did they know the horrors wouldn't stop there. Here we have Wolverine being captured by a plant cultist and going to be put into a sadistic ritual. I'm not going to spoil much for you, but everything really comes to a head here, and it is quite a sight to behold. I enjoyed it from beginning to end, and I highly recommend you check out the adventures of X-Force. Next up we have Dead Planet. Yes, this is a great entry in the DCeased series. This is issue number 1. And it was a pretty amazing read. I liked what they did with it. They introduced the characters from Earth 2, brought them over, and got them involved in the storyline that's going on. Not only that, but they do hint at a lot of the other story arcs maybe getting wrapped up in this series. They tie a lot of things together, and I really appreciate it. If you've been reading the DC series so far, then I would highly recommend you check out that issue. Here you can see the superheroes coming to investigate the situation, and, well, what do you think they're going to find here? Well, a lot of trouble. So, if you get the chance, definitely check out this series, especially if you've been reading the others. Next up we have Ghost Rider number 7. And so many issues were coming to a head. I'm not even kidding. I wasn't expecting this. But this really is a huge clash where everything finally comes together. And we get the ending of the first arc that's going on with Ghost Rider. Let me show you a little bit of the art here. We have Johnny Blaze, King of Hell, fighting Danny Ketch, Spirit of Corruption. And what a battle this was. This clash had Wolverine and Punisher in the background, and all these demons are gathering for this event, and they have to fend them off. Everything is going nuts. This is the issue you want. You want this series. Ghost Rider has been incredible. The best series since the 90s. Definitely go check it out. All right. So many good things to talk about this week. I'm so happy. Next up we have Strange Academy number 2. Well, what can I say about this? There was some stuff in the first issue that I didn't like. It seemed like they were going to be laying on certain politics, but this issue actually clears a lot of that stuff up, and I'm grateful for it. It really enhanced my reading, that they actually started working things out in a good way. Let me go ahead and show you a little bit of the art of the inside. Here we have the students being taught by the teachers in magic. They have to learn how to put a djinn back in the bottle. So that's a pretty interesting test. But I can say that this has been an enjoyable series so far. And I do like the path it's taking. I'm not sure where the story is actually leading yet. It has a very Harry Potter vibe, so it's probably going to be some schooling, kids getting to know each other, and then a situation in the background finally coming to the foreground. I will definitely be picking up the next issue of this. I know that it's mostly for younger teens, but I am getting some enjoyment out of it, and I would like to know where it is going. Next up we have Batman, The Adventures Continue. I have been enjoying this series so far. I gotta say, the art, and, the cover's a little deceptive. The art in here is not that great. It really bothers me how bad it is in some sections, but that feel of Batman the Animated Series is alive and well in here, and I'm enjoying where they're going with this. I'm especially interested because I know down the line they're going to be introducing Azrael into this series. But here we have Batman. He had a little tangle, and now he has to power up and get into his super suit. This is very reminiscent of that time he was fighting Superman, so it seems like they may be tying elements that we've never seen happen in this particular universe. So, if that sounds good to you, pick up Batman, The Adventures Continue. Next up, we have a title that is not necessarily an American comic book, but I thought you might want to hear about it. We have Dorohedoro, Volume 1. Yes, this was an excellent read, and if you've not seen the anime on Netflix, go check it out. That is what convinced me to pick this up. When I got this, I wasn't expecting it to have such a punk rock looking art style. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like on the inside. It's so awesome, and much more visceral than the anime. Also, they don't do stuff like censor nudity and whatnot. It is the full package. And if you're not familiar with this series, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. There is a magic world, and there is a world of, fairly regular people. The sorcerers step over into the regular world to experiment on its citizens, and that might seem like a terrible thing, but a lot of the people in this other place, called the Whole, aren't necessarily the best in the world anyway, and there is a lot of conflict. And there are a lot of characters that are very well rounded in this series. You get to know a lot of them, and you like everyone on both sides. Your main character is Cayman, and he is a lizard head. He's trying to figure out his past and what sorcerer did this to him. Well, that's the very brief summary, and I have another video on this actually talking about the anime. I recommend this manga. Check it out. All right. Well, that was a full roster this evening. There is one more little bonus I want to show you. I haven't read this yet, but it just came in the mail today. Hero has shown up. Hero, Blood of Patriots. Finally came in the mail. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I'll give that a good little read, and I'll probably talk about it on one of these episodes. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for checking out my new format. I hope you all have a great evening. Yes,